patient is in the RX Hub network, if they are an RX Hub eligible patient. If they are, the RX module is going to run in a second different mode, the RX Hub mode. In that mode, we will be able to get a RX Hub history. The RX Hub history will allow us to actually query the PBMs, go out there and see the full history for all pharmacies reporting, all doctors reporting of all medications this patient is on. So we're actually going out into the real world, into the network, and getting a PBM history. I'm unable to actually demo that. It does work. It is coded, but with our network down, it is not working right now. So, but I can show, and I actually do have some screenshots that I believe I had forwarded to. I think Cheryl, did you get that? If not, I will re-forward them. In any case, I do have screenshots of it working, and obviously it will be working when you guys get it. Now, keeping in mind that we'll only be able to see the RX Hub for an RX Hub patient. We'll want to, in demo purposes, we'll want to add a patient that is actually a demo patient out on the RX Hub network, which will be able to do that. So you'll be able to demo it as well. What happens is when I search for the drug, it will do formulary information based on RX Hub, and when it comes up with the formulary information, I've done that like 30 times. It's going to show just like we're used to. It'll show over here on the right side if it's unlisted or if it's a covered drug. You'll pick the drug that you want, and then it will show below, it will show we're going to actually save with each prescription. We will save the formulary status of the prescription you picked. This one was not covered. It's an unlisted drug we selected. And then it will show the actual formulary health plans that RX Hub says that they're on. If it is a SureScripts patient, it will show the SureScripts formulary health plan that you have selected in the header right here. So we will be saving your health plan that you are selecting for formulary information, and we will be actually saving the formulary status with every prescription that you write. Then the next button over will allow you to check for their PBM history if they're an RX Hub patient. And then below that, if you pick an unlisted drug, a non-formulary drug for this patient, you will get a list of alternatives that are available for this drug, so you can select one that actually will be covered. It will be a list box that will show up right below it and allow selecting for that from that list box and actually putting that as the drug you want to pick instead. So we got PBM history, we've got showing formulary status, and we also have the RX formulary health plans coming in now, as well as alternatives for the non-formularies. Also, along with that, we are getting a dosage calculator. The dosage calculator, after you've picked the drug, you will be able to, if on record, if you have selected a weight on your notes, if you've documented a weight, it will automatically feed in the patient's weight and the patient's date of birth and bring up a new crop screen that will give you recommended dosing for this drug and that weight and that age. Now, if you have not entered a weight, it will still come up, but you'll have to select the weight. It will give you basically a text box that allows you to select the weight, and before it will do your dosing for you. And now the dosing is just a recommendation screen. It's not an actual picker list. It's not one where you can say, oh, yeah, I want this one. It's just a recommendation screen, and then they'll be able to close it, and the doctor can make his or her appropriate decisions from there. Okay, do we have any questions on our new RX Hub?
Yeah, I do. Angela. Mm-hmm. I assume if we're looking at the weight, when we do our notes, we have to call the weight a certain name. Is that correct?
Actually, what it's doing is we already in global settings have a spot where you can specify what your weight field is. It's already used by our growth charts. I'll show you here. For growth charts to know which field is your weight, you set it up, actually field set up. This is the field it will use. It's going to look for TXT weight in my install.
Okay, so if we do a template that has the weight, we have to call it that. TXT weight.
Yes, if you're doing a template with the weight, yes, which is good practice anyways. I mean,
Right.
we need to be teaching our practices to use a standard set of names and not call weight 30 different things.
Right. Okay.
So,
And
yes.
then the other thing is if RX, so the RX hub, if it goes out there and it looks at other drugs they're on, we don't, do we say that information in our system anywhere, or we just are expected to, or they just have to, every time they go out to do a prescription, they have to check that?
No, actually, we have a good point. I forgot to mention that. I really wish this was working. It'd be more easier to understand. Yes, when you hit the Check PBM History button, that's going to be right here for an RX Hub eligible patient, it will bring up a screen that will let you basically do a search, and you'll say, show me the last 4 months. And then it will actually have a checkbox next to each one, and you can actually import them as marked as other doctor prescription.
And they'll go
so
into
you have
the
the option
tab?
yes, it's going to actually show up here in the chart as marked as an other doctor prescribed it for you. I mean, obviously they don't have to use that if they don't want it cluttering their chart and they just want to see their stuff. But no, they can actually check and say, oh, I didn't realize that in October you were prescribed this. I'm going to import this in. And now they have a complete list that says another doctor prescribed that in October, and it would import it for them.
Does the RX Hub information carry allergies?
No. As far as I know, no, there is not a RX Hub full allergy list for the patient. I have not seen that available yet anyways.
Right, thanks.
And this is Dave Beatty. Question on the RX Hub piece. The benefit to the physicians is essentially the fact they can see what other physicians are prescribing. I of course think about the perspective of a drug seeker, someone who's looking for Darvocet, and they've got it from 5 different physicians. On a practical level, do we have any idea as to how much information is going to be in their RX Hub? Do we know what the participation is?
I do know that the RX Hub is supposed to be one of, if not the biggest networks trying to do this. And I had a number, but it's not in front of me. Several million patients are in the RX Hub network. And I know that as a requirement for anyone using the RX Hub network, we are required to report on behalf of all of our doctors, all prescriptions being written for all patients. So basically the RX Hub network, the benefit of these new buttons we're getting and this new information, there's a second side of it, which is we have to report all of our information as well. So I've been told that because of that, any software signing up for it is doing the same. I mean, if you want to get the RX Hub information, you are submitting your information. So obviously, the percentage is going to be just going up and up of the reliability. Same thing on the pharmacy side. If the pharmacy wants to be able to do a PBM history check, if they want to their software wants to be in the RX Hub network, they also have to be submitting all of their data for all of their patients that are coming in.
Are the physicians having to give some kind of disclaimer to their patients when they come in, notifying them that their information is being shared in that capacity?
That is an excellent question. I don't know. I mean, that would be probably something we should research. I know that when we've done all of this development with New Crop, and they were giving me the list of requirements of what, there are certain things RX Hub is requiring we have on the screen, and like the fact that when they pick an unlisted drug, we have no choice. We have to show that list of alternatives, because they want you to pick one that's on a formulary and whatnot. But along that list, they did not mention anything that as well we need to have our doctors inform their patients that this information is going to be submitted. I think let me make a note of that because, that's an excellent question and we probably should research it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Angela, if somebody's not on the Hub network and the doctor gets information, let's say it's a family practitioner, he says, Patient Smith, you're going to a cardiologist, I want to get all your meds. they can still put those in there manually and still have drug interaction, correct?